If you're in a situation where you want to start a BigCommerce website, or maybe you've already signed up for a BigCommerce account, but now you need to understand the different things you need to set up in order to get your website off the ground and go live with it, then you clicked on the right video, because this is going to be a tutorial styled video where I'm going to share my screen and walk you through the different areas of your BigCommerce account that you need to click into and configure and set up with your information so that when you go live with your website, you're set up for success on the BigCommerce platform. So if you're in this situation, stick around, open up your BigCommerce account, follow along, let's get rolling. Right now, we're going to start with the basics. As you can see on the screen, I'm currently on the BigCommerce website, and this is where you're going to sign up for your BigCommerce account initially. So if you haven't done so, you're going to want to go to this page and fill out all of these fields. Then click Create a Store, and that's going to bring you to a login screen where you can log into your BigCommerce account, and then we'll pick up on the admin dashboard. Once you sign up for your BigCommerce account and log in, you're going to be taken to your admin dashboard. And this BigCommerce dashboard is really the hub of your BigCommerce account. You're going to be able to manage a lot of different things from this dashboard. And as you get started, right here are the 4 steps we are going to follow within this video, within this tutorial, to help you get off the ground and rolling on your BigCommerce store. Before we dive into these steps, we're going to go ahead and just look through a couple of key parts of this dashboard. If you want to go to Storefront here, this is where you're going to manage the theme of your BigCommerce account. So BigCommerce gives you a theme marketplace. Here there are free themes and paid themes that you can choose from. You could also create a custom theme, but for today's tutorial, we're just going to pick one of these free themes. You also are going to have access to an app store or an app marketplace through BigCommerce. So if you click into the app section, you're going to see the different apps that you have on your account, but you can also go to that BigCommerce app marketplace, and this is where you're actually going to download the apps that you need for your website. BigCommerce gives you a great foundation, but honestly, in order to have a good e-commerce website, you need to use apps to gain some functionality to really make it into a really well-functioning e-commerce store. There's a lot of different things you can add to your store, a lot of different functionality you can add on through apps. As we go back to your BigCommerce account, you've got a section to manage your products, and we are going to set up one product together for this tutorial today. You can also manage orders from your BigCommerce account. Here we're on the orders page. Up here, there are a couple of different options you can click on to view your orders. You can also manage your customer data from here. So people who place orders, their information will be put right here. Really great for retargeting, for understanding who your customers are. BigCommerce has a lot of marketing features like promotions. You can send out abandoned cart emails. There's transactional emails. Can leverage coupon codes, email marketing. So that customer list can really come in handy when you're setting up the marketing aspects of your BigCommerce account. One of the first things you want to do once you open up a BigCommerce account is configure your settings. So on the left-hand side, the navigation, you can click on settings. One area we like to point out is in this domain section down here. Make sure that those are all configured as you start moving to your next process. And honestly, spend some time just looking at these settings. There's a lot of different settings that BigCommerce gives you access to. Just make sure that all this stuff is up to date. Locations, pickup methods, shipping, tax. We'll get to those in a little bit. Just know that the settings section is somewhere where you can go to manage the foundation of your e-commerce business. You want to make sure that everything's set up correctly so that you aren't getting errors or losing traffic because of the way things are set up on this back end. So as you're in this settings section, go through each of these boxes and look at these different requirements and just spend some time getting familiar with what they're leading you to and set up as much of it as you can. Now, of course, if you already have an e-commerce site and you're migrating to BigCommerce, you're going to be able to fill out more of this right away. If you're starting from scratch on BigCommerce, you might not be able to fill in everything right away, but just fill out as much as you can, because this is going to help really configure a business and set a really good foundation for your e-commerce site as you continue to build out the rest of it. Once you configure your settings, the next thing to do would be to pick a theme. Now, as previously mentioned, there are free themes and paid themes. So paid themes is basically just a theme that a development company has already created. Usually it's catered toward a specific type of business model. So if you find one of these paid themes that fits your business model, you can go ahead, click in it, pay for it, and then you will have access to that theme and the theme code if you ever need to make changes to the theme code. Otherwise, honestly, starting with a free theme is not a bad idea either. Now, generally, these free themes are a little bit more basic, and you can view that as a good or a bad thing. Some of the paid themes, since they have been developed by companies for a specific reason, there's going to be some code, and based on the way you're trying to set up your business, it might be hard to rewrite some of that if need be. So sometimes these free themes are a little bit more watered down when it comes to the code. Things aren't as structured in a sense. So there's a little bit more flexibility with how you can build or scale this. But honestly, if you find a theme on BigCommerce, on this BigCommerce marketplace, it is going to be a good option. BigCommerce does vet these before they get into the theme marketplace. So you can rest assured that these themes have gotten the BigCommerce stamp of approval for being good themes, and you just ultimately need to find the one that's going to fit your business the best. Once you have a theme, the next step is going to be to actually add products. So we're going to click down there to the product section, and here is the product page. So this is where you're going to input all the information for your products, and this is going to then surface on your storefront. So as we scroll down here, we see we got things like the name, the SKU, product, price, brand, weight, description. You're going to input images or videos here, product identifiers, custom fields. There's a lot of different things that you have native access to when you're setting up products here in BigCommerce. If you have really intricate products or very customizable products, that starts to get a little bit more challenging on BigCommerce. But if you're selling straightforward products that aren't highly customizable, then BigCommerce makes it very easy. If you are selling customizable products, of course, there's apps and integrations for external software you can get to help manage those customizable products. But the native features in this BigCommerce product page, as you set these up, is really good for your standard products, a couple of modifiers, or one standard product. Here's an example of a product that I have quickly created, and I'm just going to walk you through the different sections that I filled out. Entered the product name, which is a chest set, SKU, it's a physical product, and the price is going to be $100. The weight setting in this account right now is set up for ounces. However, you can go to the settings section and set up a different unit of measure. And the weight you enter right here is used to help manage the shipping. So it's important that you get it right as you enter your product data. Here's the open text box where you can enter your product description. You're going to see you have different ways to help modify the way that font is going to show up on PDP. As we scroll down here, you can upload images. Each image you upload, you're going to be able to choose which one has a thumbnail, as well as image alt text to each of those. Now just remember, adding the image alt text is important for SEO purposes. So you want to make sure you have your images set in there correctly. Next section down here is product identifiers. These are very important if you're going to be doing any omni-channel selling. Basically, the more information you can give the search engines, the more correct information you're going to give the search engines about your products, the better. It's going to give search engines more to grab onto to help understand what customers to put your products in front of. So for this example, I'm only going to put the SKU in here. Not going to worry about these other three, but if you have those, please, it's in your best interest to put them in there. More pricing down here. You're going to get these drop downs for advanced features. For example, right here's advanced pricing features, tax configuration, bulk pricing options. For this, I'm not going to track the inventory, but if we wanted to, we sure could. Down here, we're getting to variant options. I have added a variant. I'm going to go right here to configure to show you. For this chest set, I'm going to have a size variant, small, medium, or large. You can choose how you want those variant options to populate on your PDP page, and you can add other variant options over here. We're going to save that. Down here, I've added some modifiers. Leveraging modifiers can help you add features and functions to your PDP pages in order to better serve your customers. For example, here I have a custom message setup that's going to appear as a text field on the PDP page where somebody could write in, a customer could write in something they want engraved on a chess piece or on a chessboard. Minimum of 3 characters, maximum of 15. In a second, we're going to see what that looks like when it is surfaced on the PDP page on the storefront. Down here, we get storefront specific options. I want this to be a featured product on my storefront. We can get into keywords. I want the fact that this is a new chess set to also be featured on the storefront. We get into things like custom fields, related products. I automatically want those to show in my storefront for customers who view this. Once again, down here we get into the weight due to fulfillment, shipping details. I'm gonna offer free shipping on this. Down here we get to a couple more options. For example, gift wrapping. I don't want this to be a gift wrapped item. So there's SEO down here as well. So these are all areas that you could build out even more. Right now I've kind of done the bare minimum just to be able to surface this product to show you what it would look like. But here is where you would configure everything. I'm gonna go up here and click view on storefront. And this is what it's gonna look like. Here we see the variants we chose, small, medium, large, and the custom message is the modifier. You can see it's optional. It's a modifier that we set up. I just wrote test in there. We can add that to the cart. And here it's gonna have a pop-up to the cart and populate our selections. And that is how you set up a product on BigCommerce. Pretty basic, pretty simple. Yet BigCommerce gives you a lot of landing zones for information to help you really plan out your products and to really help differentiate your products in the market amongst your competitors. After having products set up, the next thing you should do is configure your shipping setting. So on the home page of your BigCommerce admin dashboard, as you're getting started, you're going to have this checklist that you can work through. So I'm going to click into step number 2 to set up shipping. On the left-hand side, this takes us back to the settings section. So if you have not already configured your settings for shipping, now's the time to do that. So all we're going to do is just follow the prompts on the screen and fill out as much information as we possibly can so that BigCommerce learns how we want to ship our product and can set up our storefront accordingly. Right here, we're going to add in our shipping address. Once you've entered your shipping address, you can go down here and start configuring your shipping settings. And the way you configure your shipping settings is by adding rules and zones. And based on those zone rules, that's going to help BigCommerce determine what shipping solutions to give your customers. So as you can see here, we've already created a shipping zone for the United States. We're going to go in and configure that. Now, of course, in e-commerce, it's free shipping is recommended. With Amazon out there, Amazon Prime, that's kind of become the standard in e-commerce. A lot of consumers just expect free shipping. Now, if you have a really complex product, a really heavy product, of course, the average consumer who's buying your product is going to understand that. If you have a very large, heavy product, they're probably not going to get free shipping on that. So just something that you're going to need to understand with your customers. Nonetheless, you can toggle on and off these options, set limits, and basically rules for how you want to set up and configure shipping in your e-commerce store. You also can and probably should, if possible, plug in real-time shipping quotes from various carriers. If you have B2B Edition, which is an app I have downloaded on this store, it's like a suite of B2B functions that is all in one BigCommerce owned app. So here's just how you can connect shipping quotes to that. You can also hook up a FedEx account, UPS account, USPS account. You can connect those in order to get those real-time shipping quotes for your customers. We're back at the admin dashboard, kind of your hub for how you're managing all of this. We've added products, we've have the shipping set up, and now we have to be able to accept payments. So BigCommerce is not a payment processor, unlike some other popular e-commerce hosting platforms. So they don't have a native payment processor built in, but they do have a ton of options for payment processors that you can connect with on your BigCommerce account. PayPal is the company that they're most closely associated with. PayPal does not own BigCommerce. BigCommerce does not own PayPal, yet they have a good corporate relationship. So PayPal is going to be the one that you see here as a recommended solution. Although there are other options, Stripe, if you want to get Affirm running on your BigCommerce account, you can. These are all different options you have. If there's a payment processor outside of these that you want to work with, maybe you have it set up with your NetSuite account already, you should look into that, but you should take it up with a payment provider because not all payment providers are BigCommerce friendly, right? Sometimes you might run into one or two here or there who aren't able to connect with BigCommerce. So if you're using something that's not PayPal, Stripe, or one of the big five, then go ahead and check in with your payment provider to make sure that it'll work with BigCommerce. This section is really going to be up to you to click into the payment provider you want to work with and just fill out the specific requirements. Eventually, your store will get connected to that payment provider and you'll just manage payments through them. At this point, we've done steps 1, 2, and 3. We're going to go to step 4, setting up your taxes. We're going to hit this little box down here and notice we're back in the settings section. Now, just the same way we set up rules for shipping, BigCommerce is going to prompt you to set up rules for tax. That way you're correctly taxing the orders that are processed through your BigCommerce website. Now, a company that's very popular, not only in the BigCommerce ecosystem, but just kind of e-commerce ecosystem in general, is Avalara. Avalara is a tax automation company that you can download the app or integration onto your BigCommerce account, and that's where you can manage the rules and requirements for taxes, and Avalara will take care of it for you. You don't need to use Avalara Tax, although as BigCommerce says right here, clearly on the page, it is recommended. And when you're running an e-commerce business, you want to make sure your taxes are set up correctly. So by all means, talk to a tax professional in the e-commerce space. I'm sure many of them are using Avalara or know of Avalara. If you're just starting out and need to get your store live sooner rather than later, and don't have time to talk to a tax professional immediately or talk to someone at Avalara immediately, then setting up these basic tax rules down here can suffice for the time being. But by all means, we suggest getting professional advice and help on your tax rules. At this point in the process, we've gone through steps 1 through 4, products, configuring shipping, configuring payments, and setting up your tax rules. So technically at this point, you should be able to launch your business. You've got your theme, you know where the customer section is, you know where the marketing section is. So once you really flesh out the rest of this, add the rest of your products, configure the rest of your theme, you will be able to kick your store live. That's going to bring us to the end of this video. In this video, we kept it at a pretty high level. We didn't get down into the weeds on each one of these topics. If you're looking for more of the details and you want to get down into the weeds on each of these topics, then go to our YouTube channel where we're going to have more videos that actually do get into the details on each one of these. So if you're looking for more tutorial style videos, go ahead and check that out. And if you have a burning question that you need answered, you can reach out to us or you can drop it in the comment section below. We ultimately want to make sure that you are set up for success on BigCommerce. BigCommerce is a great platform that's really powerful and can really help merchants take their business to the next level. So we want to make sure that you have the knowledge and the power to set it up in such a way that it does that for you. So if there's something we didn't get to, like I said, drop it in the comment section below so that we can make sure that we're helping set you up for success. And if you like this video, be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and tune in next time for some more videos where we actually do get into the weeds on a couple of these things. So until next time, keep on chasing greatness, and I'll see you in the next video.